Batman and Superman have nothing to do with each other. Despite being in the DC universe, they live in different cities, have different identities, and deal with totally different problems. Yet and still, we want them to battle forever. And we're giddy like schoolgirls that round 761 is happening in live action. This is the one everybody has wanted, and it's gonna gross $1 billion, even though they are not the two top-selling superheroes. What's going on? Well, to get an idea, we have to go back to our filthier days. Then, we only knew a few dozen or 100 people, and we would define who did what in our village. We needed to know who was the strongest, so they could defend us if we were attacked. We needed to know who was the smartest, so we knew who to learn from. We wanted to know who was the most beautiful when we decided to look for a mate. This required us to compare people who could fill those roles and find out who did them best, so we could think about this the least. And what's changed since then? Nothing. How many Facebook friends do you have? It's usually a few hundred. Our brains are adjusted to exist in and organize that size group. And this reductionist urge is not lazy, it's necessary. The people who wasted time trying to figure out who to follow when danger came fed jaguars. So we have an inherent urge to see people with similar strengths compete to determine who owns that spot in our group. This is why Superman and the Flash race every attosecond, and the Hulk and the Thing brawl constantly. Or we wonder who is the most skilled or most beautiful. In other words, Highlander was right.
There can be only one.
This need to rank our group goes deeper too. It's why when we don't know the rules of a game, we just ask who's winning. But in this case, we're defining the very edges between people who could be there. Okay, so how the heck does this apply to Superman and Batman? Well, this is where it gets interesting. They do actually share something. Prominence. They've both been around long enough that they are the first two superheroes that come to most of our minds. And in our mind, prominence is dominance. Maybe because our ancestors didn't talk, so prominence was tied purely to actual deeds, or there were less memorable things happening in general, but we associate someone being prominent in our mind with them having the most ability. So the memorableness of Batman's movies and comics translates into Batman seeming powerful. And in fact, because he's equally as prominent as Superman, to our feelings, they have equal power, no matter what the facts say. And thus, deep down, we have that urge to see this fight. Now, when it happens, someone would win, and that winner is the exact opposite of what we want. And that's next. Subscribe, and thanks.